Greetings from me and my Dominican smoke. Welcome to Two Hands and a Face Audio, where our mission is to collect interesting information about interesting gear and then share it with our interesting friends who visit us online. And thank you for visiting. On this occasion, we're having a good strong look at the Fender Rumble 40 bass amp. Now, everybody's familiar with Fender amps. A lot of folks know that they also make great bass amps. The Rumble line has been around for a handful of years, and it features everything from a 25-watt studio practice amp all the way up to a 500-watt performance amp. This particular line of amplifiers is apparently made for budget purposes because the prices are super friendly, but I'm telling you, man, these amps sound fantastic. Now, I have the Fender Rumble 40, which by implication of name is a 40-watt stainless steel amp. It features a 10-inch speaker. It features a very rugged, very tightly built cabinet that projects beautifully. And I'm telling you, man, this thing is astoundingly loud for what it is, which is compact. It's only 18 pounds. But for such a small receptacle, it is feature-packed, I got to tell you. So let's start by demonstrating our straight-up sound. And I'm going to manipulate some of the EQing controls so that you can hear their efficacy. It's a 4-band EQ. It's unique in that respect. It features bass on the low end, treble on the high end, of course, and then the two center controls are low mid and high mid. You can really contour your mid response on this amp, and I mean that's everything in bass playing. So let's leave the bass and treble controls set where they typically are, which for me is noon, the detent position, kind of a mid-grade level on both of those. And I'm going to crank up the low mid a bit so that you can hear what the low mid is capable of doing. It's just past its 3/4 capacity mark. I'll put it back to normal so you can hear the contrast. Now that's a lot of mid-range, lower mid-range presence in this signal. I'm going to do the same thing with the high mid control. Crank it up just past 3/4 so you can hear the effect that it has. That is a lot of honk coming from that upper mid-range control. So between the two, you can contour it to your very most ideal levels. I generally tend to leave all of them right around noon, depending on the kind of playing I'm doing. I play bass in a classic rock setting, so I leave them around their mid-range position. Now, this particular amp comes with a variety of other tone shaping controls. It's got an overdrive section. This little tiny 18-pound 40-watt amp has an overdrive section. And I'm going to kick it in at a very low level on the distortion. It's got a level control for the output volume of this circuit section, and it also has a drive control for how much gain or distortion you want to add to your signal. So this is the signal without it. And at a low drive level, here's the signal with it. Even at a low level, it adds quite a bit of bite. You might even call it a fuzz tone, which is very cool for rock and roll. If you want to dial it up past halfway, you can get into metal territory. That's a lot of gain, a lot of drive, a lot of beast coming from this, and I've got the level control set relatively low. So you can go nuts with this thing in terms of volume and in terms of distortion if you want to use that circuit. In addition to that tone affecting device, we have 3 presets that affect tone: bright, contour, and vintage. They're all in the form of a push button, so they're a preset tone but they do some interesting things. Here's the straight ahead tone. I'm going to kick in the bright control, and it does give you a high edge that you can hear. A little more definition, you can hear the string drag, you can hear the attack way more with the brightness control engaged, or the bright control. Let's sample our contour control. That kind of scoops the mid-range a little bit. It backs it off a little for a more kind of naturally compressed sound. Might be something interesting to record with. That's our contour control. Our last preset control is called Vintage, which is going to blow up the low end and the lower mid a little bit, and it's going to leave it there. Here's our tone without it. Here's our tone with it. So you get a lot of low-end mud if that's what you're looking for. Sometimes that's what you want, man. And we've got all of these controls that can be manipulated, an astounding amount of volume, and an extremely lightweight package with 18 pounds. And it is way louder than you're going to think for 40 watts. Great little amp for a smaller gig, a coffee shop gig. We've all had them. If you're in a situation where you're rehearsing or recording or playing a coffee house, you don't want to carry in a 200-pound rig. So if you're looking for this kind of alternative, Fender dealers are everywhere, man. You shouldn't be in any major city and be able to walk 10 feet without tripping over one. So go hit your Fender dealer, plug into a Fender Rumble amp. They go from 25, 40, 50, 100, 250, 500 watts. All of these options are available. This one is my favorite compact amp in the world. I encourage you to go try one out. You're going to love it. And we very much love you being here. Very appreciated. So if you liked what you saw and heard, please hit subscribe. We want to know that we're doing something meaningful and that it means something to you. And I hope you have a quality rest of your day. And hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time, and thank you.